The English language cannot describe it. You know, I guess the movie The Matrix, they say one cannot be told about the Matrix, one must see it. One cannot be told about the New World Order, folks. You just got to wake up and look into it for yourself. You're going to find out. I mean, how do I have 500 documents, you know, that I've read and researched, and then, you know, of how they're doing this to us, and then just try to mention a few, and people go, oh, that's not true. I'm sorry, Patrick, go ahead.
No, if you want to break, you know, I've got skeptics that I have to deal with in my life as well. They're people in my family, they're my friends, they're my work colleagues that don't really want to believe that these things can be happening, or that someone who would have done something by now, if what you're saying is true. Really, let's break it down to a really simple equation. Look at fluoride, depleted uranium, all number of toxic, banned, or chemical weapons. Most of these things, if you look back and you look at the history and you check the genealogy of all these evil things, they were waste byproducts. And they were discovered within the post-manufacturing process, okay? Certainly with the aluminium industry, I believe, created fluoride, okay? So, and then you have nuclear waste. And then you have depleted uranium, and this is constant recycling. And to make new and more weird uranium coatings and things like that, you can even recycle the recycled nuclear waste, okay? It's cheaper for them to recycle it and sell it to somebody. It's cheaper for them to dump the fluoride, find out a way to make people buy it, dump it into the water supply, and everyone makes money out of it. Or pesticides, the same thing. I wonder which came first, the pesticide, or the evil pesticide, or the evil killer seed. It's probably the evil pesticide.
Well, it was Monsanto was Mr. Pesticide, and so of course they came out with poison food.
Yeah, so there's a market for rubbish, toxic rubbish, and really it's
yeah, as long as they market it, and then as long as it's poison garbage. People are, it's like, oh my, I mean, it's like these drug ads where, are you got restless feet? They kicking around a little bit at night, just some made up BS. Okay, well, take this. It may make you, in the ad, we have to dig that ad up, a compulsive gambler and go crazy. You know, it lists all these, and it's like, you know, got trouble, got a headache? Well, shoot yourself in the head. You know, your finger hurts? Chop it off with a meat cleaver. I mean, it's like you watch it, and it's like absurdist Twilight Zone. It's like you said, it's...
Well, you know, you go out to the farmer out in Iowa, or you go to the farmer out in Nebraska, you know, and there's a guy from the chemical company. He's good. I knew his son. He also worked this part of the state. We've had an account with them, and they're good people, and they're selling us these chemical pesticides. And I know the Monsanto people, and they're good people too, and I'm sure they are. And I'm sure that a lot of people that work in Monsanto have no bloody idea about any of the genetically modified properties of some of the products they're doing. But you know, this is 2012 now. I don't think anybody has an excuse to be ignorant anymore. And this is the big thrust of the message in the information war. You cannot claim ignorance anymore. The information is out there. Let's take advantage of it. It might not be out there forever. This free internet could be a phenomenon. This could be a flamboyant period in 21st century technology, where they actually let us put our websites up and choose our domain names and so forth. We don't know how long it's going to be here for. We need to take advantage of it now. And anybody who's not taking advantage of it, you want to encourage them to do so. We want to be downloading information. We want to be, everyone should be writing ebooks, should be publishing things. And so this is a bit of the revolution that we are experiencing, the digital revolution. But you know, the evil is out there. You know, you have an ability to see and know evil. You know, to be able to see it. You can see it in the dealings of men. You can see it in the dealings of politicians and big businesses, in the banks, in the predatory usury system of banking. There's no excuse not to be able to see this. And a lot of Christians don't want to believe, still don't want to believe that there's such thing as Satan, believe it or not. You know, if you did a poll, a lot of them actually don't believe in the devil. They believe in God, but they don't believe in the devil. So these are the times we're living in, Alex.
Well, you're right, and very articulate what you've pointed out there. The system called it a worldwide web because the real name is Worldwide Wiretap, and DARPA and the Pentagon on record said in the 60s and 70s, they designed what is now the internet as a system of control to be jacked into everything, be wired into everything, and track everything we do so they could have predictive programs to basically, with statistical analysis, predict the future. And I've talked about this for many years now, and even in the Wall Street Journal, they admit that Google and all of this is a government crystal ball. And again, it doesn't actually see the future. It's just with enough human activities integrated in, they can war game it out statistically and come up 99% of the time, they say. I'm sure it's even more advanced. They always tell us about the old technology. Mass movements, and 93 to 96%, they can predict when you're going to pull over at a steakhouse because they already know with the computer that there's a steakhouse up here and they know about your previous decisions, time actuaries. The point is that this is playing God, but it's still just men running it. And that's probably why we're in so much danger, because they have this hubris, and of course, pride goeth before a fall. It's so dangerous, and we are in such a critical juncture. So they believed that they would use the internet, and it didn't matter if we had voices, because they would just call us conspiracy theorists and discredit us. But because so many of us did use the system, they're now saying, as Jay Rockefeller said, who's now the head of that dynasty, one of the most powerful men on earth, he said, we would have been better off without this, and it's time to start shutting the damn thing off. You can pull those quotes up, folks. And so now they're moving to the Internet 2 model, which is just the same internet, but blocking others, selective internet kill switches on domains, making you be on master domains like Yahoo or YouTube, where you sign up under a contract, new preemptive systems where they use copyright to shut you down. The 80 inventors of the internet, as you know, 2 weeks ago went public and said this is the end of the internet, an authoritarian takeover. It sounded like Patrick Henningsen or Alex Jones. So as you said, the denial's over. People, you better appreciate InfoWars Nightly News and Patrick Henningsen's articles. It doesn't mean we're the best or have all the answers or coach and have teleprompters and info babes. We're regular people who can see what the globalists have said. You know, that's what's frustrating for me, Patrick, and I want you to close commenting on this, is that it's all written down. These people think we're so stupid that they publicly write books, Brzezinski, about how they use Al-Qaeda and how they work for them. And they publicly brag how they're jacking with our water. And they brag about how they're stealing our pension funds and how they've set up financial pyramid schemes that are meant to rob us. And it's just all there, and we're here saying to the public, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? And now the public's actually listening, so the system's racing to start World War III, racing to shut down the web, racing to demonize Ron Paul. What I'm worried about is that they're going to lose control and then just go ahead and start an even bigger war. You know, we need him to lose control and kind of collapse like the old Soviet Union or something. But instead, I mean, look at Ron Paul. They've tried to demonize him, so he's gotten a boost in the polls from it. I mean, they're starting to figure out they're out of bullets. That's why they want to shut the web down and stuff. I'm kind of ranting here, but you hear the gestalt. You've got the floor for 3 or 4 minutes to give us your comments on the big picture.
Sure. You know, this exactly what you're talking about. When I was on Al Jazeera, asked me to come on, and they did a program called Empire, and they asked me to come on and give my opinion about what a war game attack on Iran would look like. And I told the producer beforehand, I said, look, I'm going to tell you straight up, I think it'll be a disaster. I don't know if that's what you're looking for this program, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion. That's going to be an absolute disaster. And I told them, I said to them, the best laid plans of mice and men don't always come to fruition, and that chaos theory can be introduced here. This is uncharted territory for the U.S. They've never fought anybody since Second World War that actually fought back. If you really look at history, it's been rigged kind of military adventures. Okay, so there's the chaos theory that comes into play. Certainly with the internet, you actually hit the nail on the head. When I used to work in the city of London, way back, I used to work in the hospitality side back in the 90s, and when the internet first came on the scene, I was eavesdropping directors' lunches at Credit Suisse First Boston, and also in the Lord Mayor's mansion house. And these old guys who were captains of industry during the Margaret Thatcher and the John Major years, they were saying, internet, oh, this is just a fad. What is with this internet? You saw email. My secretary does emails. And this was in 1997, 98. Okay, the elite had no idea the internet would take off the way it did. So now that we've got a hold of it, people need to maximize it to its absolute maximum, because they did not count on chaos theory coming into the equation. You can't calculate it. You know, the physicists, the greatest physicists, can't even calculate it. All they know is they know it's there. They know it's there, and it will play a crucial role. And
you're right. They can only map things that they've gone over thousands of times in normal human activity. When they enter these new paradigms with new technologies, and it is a bunch of old, crazy, wicked men who are not in control. They think they are. And the more people wake up to them, the more they're trying to exercise their tyranny. I just see disaster.
Yeah, well, you know, if one wrong move on the part of some psychopath in the U.S. State Department or in the the British Foreign Office, in the bureaucratic class, one wrong politically motivated move in the bureaucratic class on the chessboard, and you can have an absolute Pandora's box. Okay. Now, the good news is that Iran is not as psychopathic from my analysis as the U.S. is. So if they were to retaliate, it would be measured retaliation, and it wouldn't be a random sort of thing. But you never know. We live in also the world of false flag attacks. So, there's always a possibility. The probability is that this will drag itself out over the next couple of years. Okay, but the possibility is that it could happen at any time. So it's trying to, span the chasm between probability and possibility. If you want to, everyone wants to predict what's going to happen in 2012. There's the possibilities and there's the probabilities. So I tend to work on the probabilities, but I do keep the possibilities in the corner of my head.
Well, no doubt, now is a time for people to be involved like never before, and I think that's your coming up to the New Year message. Patrick Henningsen, great job writing for INFOWARS.com over there in London. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was an absolutely jam-packed transmission. Again, great job to our skeleton crew here. A couple of people are off on holiday with their families here at the tail end of Christmas. Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow on the radio, 11 a.m. Central, and back 7 o'clock Central here with InfoWars Nightly News. We covered a lot of information tonight, and it's all incredibly important. But that info I went over at the end of the news tonight, dealing with the UN and Planned Parenthood documents about spiking our food and water and breaking up our families. I mean, this is a full-on assault against humanity. And then when you criticize it, they try some weird political correctness. This is about a scientific dictatorship playing God and ending the human species as we know it. And it needs to stop. We can defeat these people, but only by becoming conscious of the false environment that they've built around us. I'm Alex Jones, signing off until tomorrow. God bless you all.